Hello, I am Lincoln. Look at this game. This is Power World, a game where you collect monsters in these balls, and then you make them work for you. What an original concept. Well, apparently not, because a lot of people say this is just a copy of Pokémon, and that that's a big deal and there should be a lawsuit happening. Well, all these people saying that should quite clearly be educated in the fact that this is not a new thing. As a matter of fact, this happens to Pokemon like every other hour. So let's go back into the long history of Pokemon knockoffs and see just how common of a thing it is for people to just steal stuff from this game franchise. Now, I might not call myself a Pokemon fan, precisely, but I would absolutely never call myself a Digimon fan. Digimon, it was Pokemon's greatest rival back in the day, until it died off, like, incredibly quickly. Now, I've only really seen the anime when I was, like, 5, but you really expect me to sit down and re-watch this show? No, I'm actually just gonna recall as much as I can from my memory, and then just work with that. So let's see, what do I remember about the show? Let's see, there's all these kids, and they go to this area, and they wait stuff up from the sky, and suddenly, Digimon, they say they're digital monsters, and with, like, information, which I wish I knew. I'm right, you like Pokemon, they also room from evolve, but like, idiot ball. It's got a really cool theme song that goes, Digimon, digital monsters, consume monster cheese now. It's a purchase you're not gonna regret. We assure you. Then again, my memory hasn't been doing that well lately. They didn't used to have any similarities to Pokemon. As a matter of fact, they used to be Tamagotchi clones. But then the big shift happened. Out with Peace and Tamagotchis, and in with Pokemon and Bloodshed. But hey, it's been a while since I've actually played a Digimon game. So why don't I just play one right now? First of all, good to know my computer's still having recording issues. Second of all, why is the logo in Japanese and the text on the bottom in English? So, the logo must be in Japanese and the text is in English as like a stylistic choice. That's why the logo is Japanese. Either that or I accidentally downloaded a Japanese ROM of the game. I'm seriously hoping that it's not the latter of the two. Oh. Well, let's just see if we can enjoy the game without understanding anything. I don't know what this guy's actual name is, so I'll just name him Ash. We're opening this up and we're in a cutscene, and there's currently a fireworks show going on. This time the audio wasn't like this while I was recording, so that's good. But the Japanese is gonna be a big problem. But everything's gonna be alright because just like this guy said, Kakera wadon de nada no ga parete, kitpande nororo. Which means, I don't know. Then we proceed to slowly accumulate more Japanese speaking people and carry them over to the spaceship area. Man, this would be the worst time for a mysterious reptile to leave from the bushes. Oh my god. There's now this reptile person. You know what, I think I might like the reptile person, as long as he can't talk. Wow! And then the spaceship opens, and these scary guys come from it, and they bring their blob. Okay, time to fight the blob. Okay, time to fight the blob. I'm gonna say something positive about this game, and that's that I really like the UI design. As someone who grew up with Wii, Xbox 360, and occasional PS2 games, I find this UI design very nostalgic. Well, we gotta get into our own personal spaceship now. Nice. And now we're in this weird ruins area. I can only assume we're naming the dinosaur right now, so I'm calling him Pikachu. And now we've gotten into a fight. I wanted to end this segment right here with a joke about me dying, but it actually happened to be way more difficult to die than to defeat them. So I just ended up not dying. I was at level 3 and later on level 4, and all of these guys were at level 2, level 1, and just died in a few hits. Meanwhile, it took them several hits to attack me, rather than giving me my monster at level 1. And I don't even know if Pokemon does this, it just annoys me in this game's game design. It gave me a level 3 Digimon, and all the Digimons in the overworld happen to be level 1, which makes everything so much easier. In my experience with Pokemon, you're basically immediately thrust into some sort of challenge that's at least slightly difficult. After a while, I found this other guy. Yeah, we're gonna fight him. Let's go, let's fight him. Wait, what? Just like my Pokemon now? I mean, my Digimon? It belongs to me? Huh? I'm not even gonna fight him. There wasn't even a challenge. I just walk up to him and suddenly he's mine? Okay, whatever, he's Porygon now. And thus I did a battle with Pikachu and Porygon against some other Digimon. I think that's all I'm gonna play. I honestly don't know how to feel about this game. Now, it would be incredibly easy for me to lie and say that I was being perfectly fair with this game, but I'm much more reasonable than that, and I can say that I definitely wasn't. I probably could have installed some sort of patch or something to the ROM that I had that would have turned it into English. I just didn't because I was feeling too lazy. And I probably should have played it for longer than 20 minutes after gameplay actually started, which itself took 10 minutes to start. Honestly, I think if I really committed to playing it, I'd have a fun time with it. But I'm currently playing Bowser's Inside Story right now, and I don't want to stack up a bunch of RPGs. Especially not RPGs that I can't even understand the story of. But without further ado, it's time to move on to the next game. Here it is, Pokemon, but the Pokemon are the Pokeballs.
My whole world changed one day when all these random cards started raining down everywhere. At first, they seemed harmless enough, so a bunch of us kids invented this cool new game. That's when we realized those cards weren't so harmless after all. They were packed with incredible powers from another world. My name is Dan, and together with my friends Bruno, Marucho, Julie, not to mention Mr. Hotshot himself, Shun,
This doofus.
Alice, we are the Bakugan Battle Ballers! Bakugan, one goal, two worlds.
So after naming myself, I actually end up in a character creator, which I wasn't expecting. I make my character look as much like me as possible, and then I go. Oh yeah, and I'm sorry if I sound very sniffly right now, I've got a cold. There's more exposition, but I'm not going to be playing the game the full way through anyway, so it really doesn't matter to me. A ton of meaningless stuff happens, and now we're in the tutorial, which shows me that the gameplay style of this game is very different from Pokemon. Instead of being a turn-based RPG like I thought it was, you have to use the stylus to toss your Bakugan onto the card. After that, you have to use the stylus to rub your Bakugan's element enough to make sure that it's stronger than your opponent, and then you win the fight. Overall, despite it still being clear that Bakugan wants to be like Pokemon, it does its own thing to get there, and I respect it for that. Anyways, time to move on to Yokai Watch. Remember Yokai Watch? It was the most popular game on the 3DS. Wait, you don't remember Yokai Watch being the most popular game on the 3DS? That's probably because you were blinking for the zeptosecond where it was the most popular game on the 3DS. You know, I can't blame you. You have to blink or your eyes might get infected, so it's good. But here's the thing, even after the fact, people have forgotten about this game because nobody remembers Yokai Watch anymore. And if you do remember Yokai Watch, don't worry. This one hurt a bit. It's genuinely shocking because for a second there was Yokai Watch shows, Yokai Watch movies, Yokai Watch got sequel games, and spin-off games, and then it's just gone, erased from history. Now, unfortunately, the only ROM of the game I could find online came from the modern, unofficial Citra emulator website, which is kind of notorious for being unsafe and bad because it's not owned by the actual Citra emulator, and also I've heard things about it having malware on it, so I don't think I'll have any footage or gameplay to show off for this series, but it's another notable one. Yokai Watch isn't like a lazy knockoff of Pokemon, it actually has way less similarities than it looks like. But still, it's not I Want to Be Pokemon on the level of Digimon or Palworld. And while none of these games are Pokemon, all of them have managed to be significantly better than Scarlet and Violet.